Hello, folks. So welcome to a little explanation and invitation to join me in a short practice of Bhramari Pranayama, which is also known as buzzing bee breath. And it's a pranayama that's used primarily in autumn season, but in any situation where you may find that your vata dosha or your air and ether is disturbed. It's a really good pranayama to practice if you find meditation a struggle, if you don't like sitting still and being quiet. Bhramari Pranayama gives us access to the feeling of the vibration, which brings vata into line, really, into the felt sense of the body. And at the same time, we can do different hand gestures or mudras. The one that is traditionally associated with Bhramari Pranayama is called Shanmukhi Mudra, which is about closing the six gates, the six senses, withdrawing from the world, which is one of the stages in the 8 limbs of yoga prior to meditation. But anyway, so many possible ways of explaining and describing this practice. It's just a very soothing, calming practice, and it gives us access to all kinds of healing through the senses and through the regularity, the sound, the feeling, the closing off of the external world, and so on and so forth. So a few things to think about. You need to be comfortable in your seat when you're practicing any pranayama. You don't have to be sitting. You can be in the seat or the asana of lying on your back. But trying to practice sitting up while meditating is part of the discipline of yoga. So I think it's a good idea to try and do your pranayamas upright with your spine reasonably comfortably elevated. We have a nice rounded upper spine. So you're not really trying to sit yourself up and pull yourself up. You're just trying to let yourself feel comfortable in the shape of your spine and the shape of your seat, letting your back muscles be very relaxed. So that's crucial. And there's a couple of ways that these little cartilaginous points in your ears is what you press closed to shut the ears when you make the sound in Bhramari. And you can just do that with your index fingers. It's quite nice just to lift your elbows a little bit, and you close off those points using your index fingers, and you just make a humming noise in the back of your throat. And that stays as consistent, as smooth as you can manage until your exhalation is gone. And then you gently breathe in. And then you go again, and you can continue for as many cycles as you like, but it's always good with vata to limit things, to keep things boundaried. So I recommend you set a target of, say, 3 or 5 breaths and stick to that, so that you can then definitely commit to a regular practice of this through the autumn season. So you start simple, start small, and stay there. Don't go beyond until maybe you take a review in a week's time, and then you can decide, is that good? Would you like to do more, or are you already okay with enough, just 3 or 5 rounds? So let's do this together for the first bit. Just put your index fingers on those little cartilage points, sides of your ears, press in gently, close your eyes, take a nice deep breath in, press in gently and hum out. Well, I'm going to do 3 times. And what's really nice afterwards is just to allow the vibrations to gradually dissipate and see what remains with you having done that practice. As you go on, you may feel the vibrations in different parts of your body. You might feel them starting to fall down through your spine or into the cavity of your chest. As time goes on, there's all kinds of possibilities. But it is really worth cultivating a regular practice of that. The next thing I want to show you is Shanmukhi Mudra. You can Google this and it'll show you different finger points all over the web, as typically, just like with yoga, you can see different ways of doing things. However, this is when you start with something, it's best just to continue. And because it's a pranayama, it's also associated with Ayurveda. Ayurveda and yoga go together. And Ayurveda considers like marma points or sensitive points on the body, which are intended to give us access to more of our senses. So if there's any blockages in marma points, you unblock them and you become more sensitive. Not in a bad way, not in an upset way, but more sensible, perhaps would be the word. So the idea is to close your eyes with your index fingers, closing your ears with your thumbs, your eyes with the index fingers, the bridge of your nose. So there's a point just where the cartilage and the bone joins, about here. There's this marma point in the dip of your lip, and then these ones on the side of your mouth, which you can press with your little fingers. So I'm going to press into my eyes gently, the corners of my eyes, closing my eyes, pressing gently into the bridge of the nose, pressing gently into this top of the lip, and then these 2 points either side of my mouth. I'm closing the ears, and then I'm going to do 3 breaths. So it might take a little while to get comfortable with that, but I'm going to try it. Deep breath in through the nose, humming out in the back of the throat. Just enjoying the after effects. Can be very clarifying and very relaxing. I hope that's been useful, and I wish you lots of joy with your Bhramari Pranayama. Namaste.